And when you thought it couldn't get any better, it does. We're glad to have you on board with us from PIM, Partners in Marriage podcast. I'm John Godbolt,
And I'm Vertel Godbolt.
and we're so glad to be here with you again today. Part 3 of Getting Some Gain from Your Pain. Our guests are still with us, Kathy Matthews, Norma Bryant. They're both pastors, apostles, and we're talking about not the position that they hold, but the person who was hurt, wounded, gone through divorce, both of them with children, all boys, as a matter of fact. Right? You have 2 boys, you have 1.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's amazing. Raising sons, girls, women raising sons. Today, I want to talk about, in this session, learning from your experiences. And by that I mean you both are talking so graciously, and you be able to reflect. You're going back and say, okay, as I look back, I've learned from this. But in that process, during those days when you were 20-some years old or 30-some years old, and you were going through this, how do you keep your gratitude and your mindfulness of what I said I'm going to do, I'm moving forward? How did you keep moving forward? Because we hit those places that's tough at times. Norma?
To keep going forward, I just believe, for me, I have to say, it was baby steps.
Okay.
And just practicing the gratitude, of course. As I said, I didn't ever become angry with God. I probably was harder on myself because I just felt like you just messed up, big time. But at the same time, being a parent, I had to continue to provide for my son and I and make a home, make a life. And God continued to open doors for us as well and make a way for me. And so when I could see God moving in the midst of the bad situation, I saw God providing. I saw God opening doors. God sent people to mentor me. So those things helped me a whole lot. And then after becoming a pastor, I saw God use me to be a blessing to couples, that were on the cusp of maybe a divorce or whatever, having trouble. So I saw that even though I had gone through that pain,
Right.
God could use that pain to be a blessing to someone else. And I'm proud to say that there are multiple couples that I've been able to counsel and help to save their marriage.
So when you were divorced, how many years were there between your divorce and you becoming a pastor?
I was divorced in 92. I became a pastor in 97.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
was in ministry I was ordained as an evangelist in 85,
Okay.
but I became a pastor in 97.
Awesome. So Kathy, share with us your story, your gratitude, your mindfulness. How did you keep going?
Well, I have to contribute it to my relationship spiritually with the Lord. Quitting was not an option.
Yeah. Okay.
And I saw so much resiliency in my mother and my aunt, who also experienced, not so good marriages and things, but they kept going, they kept providing and making things happen. And so I have to contribute that resiliency from them, from what I saw with them. And then you're taught, or we were taught, you praise God through it all. And, I went to church sometime with shades on,
Wow.
black eyes under the shades, but
Wow.
you praise God through it all, So I don't know if you were mentally crazy, but or you or you would just have that strong faith that somehow, God was going to bring you out. And so just kept going.
Now you actually left the state. He took you out of the state all the way to Kansas,
Midwest.
Midwest.
Yes.
Okay. Well, how did you manage to come back without worrying about him coming to find you? Or
I didn't even think about it because as Apostle Brian said, there were just so many embarrassing moments. And for you to do that in front of his family or in the house of his family. And then the straw that broke the camel's back when he did it in front of my mother. And that was too much. And that was that was just it.
Oh, yeah.
I got the guts to just get out of it, period.
And you had 2 boys.
I had 2 sons
How
by
old
that
were
time.
they?
Well, the youngest son at that time, he was only 6 months old.
Wow. Wow.
And it was just so embarrassing
Okay.
that my mother had to come in and physically fight that battle for me. That was too much. And so there was no turning back, because we had broke up, went back together, broke up, went back together, broke up,
Okay.
went back, but when that happened, that was just it for me.
Let me ask both of you about your thought life. I know as we getting older, we know your thinking, everything really starts with what kind of thinking you have about yourself, whether it's going forward or staying in a situation. You've already now made up your mind. You're grateful to God for doing what He did for you. And both of you had a relationship with Jesus Christ. Suppose we got somebody watching us right now whose relationship is not that strong, but they need to be thinking mentally stronger. What would you recommend for them to do in their process of thinking to get better?
Well, I mean, that's just it. They have to come to a conclusion. It wasn't something, I don't think, that somebody probably could have told me.
Yeah.
It was something that I had to come to the conclusion, the decision of, is this what I want to contend with for the rest of my life? No. Is this what I want my children to be exposed to?
Okay.
No.
Okay. Okay.
You can always point things out, but the individual, 9 times out of 10, would have to come to that conclusion where they say enough is enough.
Okay.
You know, no one can say that for them. They have to say enough is enough.
No?
I agree with her in the sense of, it's your belief system and your values. And if you feel that you have to stay in a relationship to feel whole, then I would challenge your thinking. Whether you're a Christian, a believer or not, one has to have a belief system and a value system that say, hey, I'm better than this.
Okay.
And of course, if that partner is not willing to work together with you to make and to have a healthy relationship, then you need to look at whether you need to remain in that relationship or not. I'm not a person who would tell a person to leave, but one of the things I've learned is sometimes people leave and then they go back, they leave and they go back because they really want it to work, and that's the right thing. However, once you leave, you need to look at, I was like that one time. I thought, okay, I'm not in a relationship anymore. We're separated. And of course, he's saying all the right things. And I'm beginning to believe what he said. And I had my coworker, I was talking to him about it, about, how wonderful he was talking and saying all those wonderful things. He says, you need to look at that a second time.
Yeah.
So that's what I say to you. You need to look at it a second time. And then I remember having a mentor who said, one time I was talking to them about, reuniting with him, my spouse, and he said, you're out of it, you need to stay out of it. And sometimes you need somebody to be that firm.
Yeah.
And it was really funny because he was a very jovial person, and we were laughing and talking, and I just I talked to him a little bit about what I just said, and he looked at me very serious.
Okay.
You're out of it, you need to stay out of it. And I'm glad that I had those people in my life to alert me to the fact that maybe you're looking at this wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I stayed out of it.
And it's like you say all the time,
If
if nothing
nothing
has
changes,
changes,
then
nothing
nothing
has
changes.
changed.
I tell
That's
you,
how it is, really.
that's our line. But I'm telling you, we know it. We've seen this, and it's like everybody. The person you're talking to is brand new at it. They don't know the history that you've dealt with other people. You can't bring other folk out the closet and say, here's the one, here's another that's gone through the same thing. They tried that going back and forth. We get it. But if nothing has changed, then nothing will change.
And I read a book that says what to do when he doesn't change. And that was one of the things you changed.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't remember the author, but
Okay.
I do remember it's called What to Do When He Won't Change.
I like that.
And it was, in essence, saying if they don't change, you need to change.
Yeah.
See what it is that you're contributing to this and what's causing this, if there is, and then you change.
I thought about
Go ahead.
I thought about something funny. It was a song. They say, hit the road. Don't you come back no more.
Was that Ray Charles? I think that was it. Ray Charles singing with that one. But yeah, that's what we're trying to get some gain from the pain, and I think that's good. I mean, really, if you can surviving that sort of thing is tough. And all of these things we put in our lives, and we're learning that things that are tough, church hurt, divorce, all these things are tough. But you ladies have shown us it's important, and what we're doing is sharing with other people what they can do to make their lives better. And time has already come to an end. As I always say, marriage is not a destination; it is a journey of love.